Hello everybody, AlphaGalaxyy here, and today we are going to be talking about making that money. We are going to be making a bunch of gold. I'm going to show you the different ways, different styles using fishing, mining, gardening, cooking, and bug catching as well. I'm just going to touch briefly on each one, show you the values, so you can kind of do which one you like to do to make money. Also the pros and cons around them. So, like, subscribe, make sure to get to the end of the video for the giveaway, and here we go. So the first thing I do, with gardening to make the most money, I personally like to grow apple trees. They are my favorite thing to grow. And I think that's the most important thing, is do what you love, do what you enjoy, grow the things you enjoy, because that's what the game's all about. Some things do get you more gold than others, but in the end of the day, it's all pretty similar. So I'm growing corn right now for my Petite 5 parties I've been doing on the weekends. You're all welcome on Saturdays. I post it in the Palia party. But what I like to do is put down this hydration fertilizer to water my garden, because it's super low maintenance. I can go out and adventure while making money doing other things, and all I have to do is pick the weeds. And if you don't want to pick the weeds, you can lay down a different fertilizer or pick the hydration, and when you re-put it back on it, it will swap it out for you, so you can pick either blocking the weeds if you want, if you don't want to water at all, or put down some weed blocker. Then you have to pick weeds, but it makes it super easy and manageable while you're out making money doing other things. The other thing that's really good about it is the seeds are worth a lot when you process them. It's very important, whatever you decide to do, make sure to process them. Put them through the jammer or the seeder. Certain ones give you more money, but it's gonna make you a lot of money, because a single apple's not 1,050 although it takes 10 to do. And then here you can see the jam it's 144 per jam you sell. So for 30 apples, that's 4,320 gold. That's significant. Next, I'm going to show you the other thing you can do is, with all the extra stuff that you get while adventuring, such as Sernuk meat or Mujin meat, things that aren't worth a whole lot but you pick up and gather, are going to be super helpful in your worm farm, especially when you have a lot of them. So let's see here. Agapu meat, I've been getting so much of that. You can turn that into your glowworms, which will be worth 25, and the meat's only worth 16. But then those glowworms are going to be exchanged into fish when you're fishing. And fish we'll go over later on, but they're worth at least 100 to 200 gold, and the Moz is 4,000 gold if you can catch it. The other thing is the staircase mushrooms. These are only worth 9 gold to sell. Even if you don't go fishing afterwards, to change them into worms is absolutely worth it. Let's see. Then we got the mountain morels. You'll pick up those while you're in Bahari. Those are also great to turn into them. Or if you're in a pinch and you need to get some food for your glowworms, you could always buy them from the shop. They're pretty much equate to the same amount of gold now, but the glowworms can always be changed into fish from fishing, and that's worth quite a lot of gold in itself. So this is always a good thing to keep going and to fill up with your low worth items, such as the mushrooms, to keep on getting some profit. I have so many eggs, I'm just going to put those in there. Perfect. Now, as far as hunting goes, I enjoy getting the Orgapus for different things, but I don't find hunting them to be super valuable. They take so many arrows to kill, especially if you're hunting by yourself. So to replenish them is going to cost a lot. Slow arrows you need briar daisies for, and even when you kill them, you don't get a whole lot. However, I will say the Orgapu plushies are super cute. Next, I will talk about these mushrooms here. They are I think, worth it if you are going to focus on hunting to make money, if you enjoy hunting. One, those staircase mushrooms I just got can go into your worm farm and make you money there. They have more valuable drops, I feel, such as the spores. And then you also have the rare ones you can get, and they sell for quite a bit. And you also can still get the plushies from them. And remember, it's all about making money, but it's also about enjoying what you're doing. Because you can make money so many different ways, but I feel if you're going to make money, at least also have an opportunity to get a plushie, or something that is also valuable, because that's what the game's all about. And decorating with plushies is super cute. Oh, almost got that guy. There we go. Come here, buddy. Oh, missed him. Let's see. Anybody else around? I'm going to try slower on this one. There. You can hit them twice if you use these slow arrows, so that's cool. Ah, see you over there. Alright, so you can see here, we got quite a bit of staircase mushrooms for our glowworms that we'll be able to transform into. We got a lot of elder schmoll spores. You can do the floatfish mushrooms, put those in the worm farms as well. And you can see there, those really didn't give me much in comparison. I'm just going to toss those. We also found a few flame-horned frogs while we were down there, and we did end up getting a plushie, so that's awesome. You're also going to get a lot of infected essence, which is great if you're looking to buy some new items. Also, while you're running around, and while you hunt the mushrooms, you get the Elder Clan mushrooms, and those sell for quite a lot too. You can turn those into worms, cook with them, or just sell them. There's also a chance that you could get a black pearl from it. So overall, absolutely worth it to me. So next on the list is bug catching. Now there used to be a thing called frog money, and King Hoppington replica is here in the Elder Woods in case you want to get it. The more times you get it, the more the price goes up. That's why mine is so much, but I think it's only like 100,000 starting out. I say only, but I know that's a lot. So they used to be able to catch a bunch of frogs here. The more rare ones, you can still catch frogs, but they're not as lucrative. You don't get as much money as you used to. But one thing I really like about catching bugs in the Outerwood here is that it's easy. You get a lot of frogs, which also has a chance for plushies. And then you also can have friends here, you can do parties, but you don't have to like move around a lot either, so it's not too much braining. And it's not too bad. You get quite a lot of rare bugs, especially if that's what you enjoy. If you enjoy bug hunting, this is a good spot for you. There we go. I keep hearing these little bugs come up. Come over here. There we go. There's another one there. There we go. Got another one. You also get a pretty good mix, so if you need anything for your bundles or quests, this is a good place to get a variety of bugs too. Pick these up before they disappear. Oh, look at that. I got myself a water key. I'll have to figure out where that belongs later on. Excellent. Little quest. There we go. Ooh, another water key. Excellent. We'll have to see where that goes. As you can see though, there is quite a lot of bugs here, a lot of frogs. And over time it will add up to quite a lot. The other nice thing is it's not like you need any kind of like rare bug bombs. You could probably just use the standard bug bombs and be more than fine. Oh, look at that! King Hopperton himself just appeared. I think that's starred. And they do show up sometimes, but so that's a great example. That is the type of frog that used to show up. Instead of the grumpy ones, they were all the will-o-wisp rock hoppers. So, right. It's nice to see that they still show up every time we got someone there, got you, alrighty. Anyone else want to come home with me? No? Grab those. Cool. Alright. Well. Let's pick up the rest of these here. The lure's probably just about done. Let's go see how much we earned off one lure. Alright, so we have 1,158 there already. Let's add all these in there. There we go, one of those. I'm gonna keep those for myself, just in case I need it for a quest. And we'll sell that one too. So we made probably about 2,500 gold off one lure. And I think a lure runs for maybe about 15 minutes. So not too bad. Not too bad. All right, let's move on to fishing. All right, so fishing I really enjoy. I find it to be very lucrative because I turn the 9 gold mushrooms into hundreds of gold, sometimes thousands. The Moz shark sells for 4,000 gold alone, and then even the ancient fish and the unicorn fish sell for I think at least 2,000 gold, and that's if you catch them. I know those are rare, but even overall these lake sharks I think sell for 250 each. So there we go. When it comes down to it, I feel like that's quite a good turnaround. I know it takes more time, but I also don't mind fishing. I enjoy it. And if you struggle with fishing at all, because I know sometimes it's hard, especially when you put a hotspot under a dock like this, because it's sometimes near impossible to try to get this one. I have a tips and trick video for fishing. I highly recommend checking it out. It really goes over all of the food, what kind of like tackle you should use. It's going to increase your health bar and certain things like that. So if you do struggle, and it goes over like if you're a Switch player, because I know it's really hard on there, how to catch things like this without. Well, there we go. Hello, Ren. Wow, well, I guess they were impressed by that. But hello there, thank you. But that will help you too, because you do get a lot of money from fishing. And it helps turning into those glowworms into something else. But again, if it's not your thing, you can always just sell all your glowworms and fertilizer. I know that brings you a pretty penny itself too. Oh, here we go. Here comes another one. Hello. And don't forget, you can always let the bar fill back up. And those perfect catches sure do give you a lot of experience bonuses. Woo! There we go. Okay. Alright, now that we're back, you can see, oh, we sold it for, we made 3,700. That's good. All right, we're going to add those in. And in total, we got 1,825. That was only for about, what, 10 worms? For the 10 worms, 1,825. That's pretty good. And the sharks sell for about 250 starred and I think 160 not starred. And that's not bad. I'm just going to grab these corn and plant another tree here. You can see I just pick weeds super quick, super easy. I don't have to do any kind of gardening, so just really low maintenance for this. There we go, put that right there. A little bit of watering. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. All right. Now let's take a look at the baking portion of things and how much money you make from that. Alright, so the Petite 5 sell for 135 gold. It takes 9 people to make if you do a cake party. And then celebration cakes sell for 280, so a little more than half the price, or double the price. But you need 18 people to do that. If you like little quaint cooking parties, I do them on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on my live videos here on YouTube and Twitch. I stream on both, and you're welcome to join. Then let's see what else. There's also sashimi parties that have been going on, and what people are doing is they're taking like some of the legendary fish and they're making it, and then people are doing overstock to be able to also get part of it. So those have been really popular lately too. But that's some of the ways that people are making money right now from cooking. All right, on to the next one, which is mining. All right, so when it comes to mining, this is a little bit more of a pros and cons kind of list because there's more to it than just collecting the rocks. Now, they added these awesome gold nodes here that I just found that are worth quite a lot. So between the iron and the gold, you get quite a lot of money from those, and that's 11 gold. And we'll go over how much that was worth at the end here. But as far as the pros and cons, it's very lucrative, especially like these irons. You can find them all over the place. They're pretty easy to find, and they do sell for quite a bit. And so those are nice things. So you do make quite a bit of money. And then the other things that are pros to this area in Bahari is you get sweet leaf, which you use for baking, which will help you make money if you sign up for like cake parties, which we do have. Different parties on the weekend on Saturdays, and then there's also plenty of other parties that you can go into a slot and do like 100 sweet leaf and make a bunch of money that way. So that's a great pro for this area for collecting those things while also mining and getting money at the same time. Ooh, look, more gold. Oh, that is a good find. Then the other aspect of this area is getting briar daisies. Those we use for slow arrows, which are super helpful for the orgapoos there. And then, and you get these little bugs. So these bugs sell for quite a bit. And when you catch them, they give you silk. And you can turn silk into, the silk thread into silk fabric. And that's worth a lot to sell. So those are kind of a lot of the pros in this area. The cons, I'd say, is that pallium's not as lucrative. So if you need pallium for things, ooh, look, there's a dairy clove. They also have dairy clove and heat root here. Heat root. And that's pretty nice to get too. Ooh, more gold. But you know, if you need pallium or platinum, it's a lot easier to find in the Elder Woods. So that's one of the cons if you're looking for those. And that's why it's like, what are you looking for? Because you can make quite a lot of money doing this, getting sweet leaf, getting briar daisy, which will help you make money in other areas, such as hunting, slow arrows for hunting, or sweet leaf for cooking, while also collecting this iron and gold, which will sell for quite a lot. Now let's head over to the Elder Woods. Alright, so here in the Elder Woods, if you are looking for pallium or platinum, this is a great place to get it. There is a lot of pallium here. It's a lot easier to find than it ever was in Bahari. Ooh, look at that. We got a nice lotus. Make sure to grab those. And those are nice. You can find lotuses here and orchids and things. But pallium is a great resource here to collect. And it does sell for a pretty good amount. As far as platinum goes, I find it to be a lot harder to find. But it does sell for a lot if you get lucky or if someone calls it out in chat. You could use a compass that would help with your mining to find the specific rare rocks. And I will say the gems you get from the rocks in platinum and pallium and stuff do sell for a lot. So those are some good pros. The cons, I feel like I don't get as many resources mining here. The sweet leaf is always so helpful for cooking. I know there's flotatoes here, but I still really enjoy sweet leaf. But the briar daisy is so good for slow arrows, but I know you can't find them here, so slow arrows are kind of not as much, but maybe you don't use that anymore. And so this might be the place for you. So I would just say, whichever area you decide, just make sure you are multitasking with what you're collecting and what you need. And I think that, oh look, see, someone just called out platinum G7. Let's head over to that. Right there, all right. But whatever one you pick to mine, do your mining, make sure you're collecting what you need. Because in the end, that is gonna bring you the best profit all around. Because you're multitasking. Ooh, nice. And this is that wonderful platinum. Cool. And the white rocks you get, do sell for a pretty good amount too, and so that's also pretty helpful. But yeah, that's what I have for mining. So just make sure whatever you're collecting or what you need is also worth the time you're putting into mining and what you're mining. All right, let's see what everything's worth. All right, I'm going to break down now each area's worth. So for a stone, you sell it for 1 gold, or if you process it, it sells for 3. Pretty much I would just sell it. Same with the white stone, processing it down to the slab. White stone sells for 16 gold. Processing it to 18 doesn't really seem worth the time, so I would sell that. Just the white stone as it is. The iron ore sells for 8 gold. When you process it, it sells for 65, which is a good bump. With platinum, it sells for 12, and when processed, it sells for 95. Gold ore sells for 75, and when processed, it sells for 760. And when platinum ore sells for 175, and when sold, it sells for 1,765, which is a really good amount. Now, in Bahari, when you mine, there is a chance to find these centipedes, and they sell for a lot. I know mine's starred. I didn't have a non-starred, so it will sell for a little bit less. But these sell for quite a lot, so that's a nice little advantage. You also get silk thread from them, and when turned into fabric with a loom, that will sell for 225 gold, and that takes 5 of these to make 1, which is also a nice little extra. You find sweet leaf and briar daisy, as well as dairy cloves and heat root. And then in elderwoods, you get elderflower, orchids, elderwood lotus, and flotatoes. Now, I feel that utilize the time. If you need sweet leaf and briar daisies or even dairy cloves, I feel Bahari is going to be most lucrative for you because you're going to be able to maximize your time by doing both. You can mine at the same time that you're trying to get sweet leaf or heat root or dairy cloves, and so that's going to help you out. And at the same time, you'll get some centipedes and some silk, and that will also be cost effective. However, if you don't need sweet leaf or briar daisies and you're like, I don't need any of that stuff, then elderwood just might be the place for you. You'll have some other plants you can collect. I like to just put my elderwoods orchids into my glowworm farm. I feel like that works out pretty well. It's only 9 gold and it turns into 25, so that's nice. And the white stone sells for a lot, so that's helpful. And I myself even need more platinum ore. So it's you know, if that's what you need and that's what you want, that's going to be a lucrative spot for you. So you can tell me which one you prefer in the comments. I'd love to know, because I feel both are very lucrative, but it just will depend on what you need. Because if you can get sweet leaf for maybe a cooking party, you're going to make a ton of money on that cooking party. While at the same time, if you're collecting ore, you're just making even more money using your time. So, anywho, there we go. Let's head over to the giveaway. Hello, you made it to the end of the video. Awesome. We're going to be doing a giveaway. So, we'll do it real quick so you can be on your way to get richer than rich. Swim around in all your delicious gold you'll be having. Alright, so we have the Flutter Fox plush, Winter Flutter Fox plush, and the Magi plush, and the Embra plush. So, in the comments below, subscribe, like the video, and then do exclamation giveaway on what plushie you want. And in 3 days after I post this, I will pick one from the comments, and we will connect, and you'll get your awesome plushie, your new plushie. So take care. Thanks again for everything, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe here to catch my latest videos on YouTube, and over here on Twitch, where you can catch my live streams every week. Thanks for watching.